So I've always had a great deal of confidence in a belief that if I did things correctly, or as close to correctly as I could, if I did A, B, and C, D would show up. Pretty linear thinker, used to be in that way. It shows up in a lot of the ways that I deal with things, and even the career I started when I went to college. I went to engineering school. Very logical thinking, very linear thinking. And so my husband had been unfaithful, and I thought that if I did what I had always been told, to forgive and to move on, everything would be patched back together. Actually, there were years where I knew there was a book in me, and I think I laugh about it now because I really thought the book would be about this resurrection of this miracle, this relationship that had fallen to pieces, and by the grace of God and some great miracle, this marriage had come back together, and there we would be on stages of large evangelical churches telling people how if they tried harder to, their marriage would come back together. So I find this kind of ironic because that's really what I believed. And I was in a really difficult spot. My husband didn't want to be married anymore, and he didn't want me to talk to anybody about it. So to help me do the right thing, I decided to do a physical activity of hiking every day to keep me active and tired. And I also decided to do something for my brain because it's pretty active too, and I decided to take Italian class. And in both my Italian class and on the hiking trails, I ran into gay people. And I had been known as a person that was pretty gifted with evangelism, and within a few sentences I could turn. I'm not proud to say this, but it's just who I was. I would be able to turn a conversation to, oh gosh, it makes me sound so awful now, another person's need for salvation and repentance and turning. And it's not that I don't believe those things, it's just the technique was a bit abrupt. It was perfect in the evangelical world, but just a bit abrasive. And because I was in a difficult place in my own marriage, when I ran into my lesbian friend Netto on the trail and my gay friend Tom in Italian class, I just didn't think it terribly authentic to tell them how much they needed a born-again experience and an experience and relationship with Jesus Christ when it was, on the surface, not working terribly well for me because I had done all the right things and my marriage was falling apart. But in the midst of all of that, I never doubted my faith. I never even really had a crisis of faith. I just didn't think it was time to export my beliefs on other people. So because I didn't do that abrasive thing of exporting what I believed and imposing that on other people and just did relationship, it became, for me, a life-changing experience, and it led me into very productive work. So I learned in the midst of crisis to keep my mouth shut and to surprisingly not close my heart down to relationships with people, and I learned to open my ears up and walk alongside of people. So that would not have happened if I had been in a better space in my life. Tom and Netto are still my friends, and they would have been passing acquaintances if I had done the Kathy version 1 experience with them.